Hi, it's Riley at No Fun Club. We're going to do a video today showing some of the cool sound design features of the ARP 2600. There's been some re-releases of this synth recently, so there are a lot of YouTube videos showing what a lot of the knobs do. We're not going to go into everything. We're going to specifically focus on the envelope follower and the preamp, which lets you plug in external sources like a guitar or your voice and control parameters of the synth. R2-D2 is made using that feature of this synth, and also Pete Townsend from The Who used it a lot on his guitar. So let's get into what an envelope follower is. And at the end of this video, we'll also show how you could do this type of thing in the computer at home. Okay, so over in the top corner here, we have the preamp and the envelope follower. A preamplifier will boost a signal, like a microphone signal, up to line level. So we have our gain input, and we have a multiplier that can make it much louder. Any of these orange rectangles with white text are to denote normals or components that are inside the synth. So a normal is a connection that's made before you patch anything behind the scenes, which you can interrupt by patching. So the sound you would plug in here, and it goes into the preamp, which is inside the box there, and then that goes to this output. Now this output is normaled to the preamp output here on the envelope follower. So that means that anything plugged into the preamplifier, unless you plug something in here and break that patch, it's automatically going to be coming into the envelope follower. Now what the envelope follower does is it uses the level of the incoming audio to generate a control voltage, which you can use to control something else on the synth. So there's a few ways that could be used. Let's check it out.
Okay, so I'm just going to read yesterday's headline, which will be further in the past by the time we release this. Mysterious desert monolith disappears, heralding either doom
Okay,
or
so this
reveal
is
of
just
viral
Domo's
campaign.
voice coming out of the preamp
Last week, a
and
mysterious
going
metal
into
monolith was discovered
the
in a
mixer.
remote area of Utah.
So we're not
Two
really using it to do anything
investigators, failing to
special.
heed the lesson
We could put some
of
reverb on
basically
it,
every sci-fi and horror story ever told around.
and we could filter it. But really, it's just using the ARP as a mixer for the voice. So let's try something a little stranger. This is, if you unplug it, we're just hearing what's normal, the VCO number 2. I'm going to take the sine wave output of VCO 2 because it's a smoother sound with no overtones. I'm going to take this same cable that has Domo's voice, and I'm going to plug that into the frequency modulation control of oscillator 2. So that's using the voice to control the pitch of the oscillator. And this is where things start to sound very strange and sci-fi. For the purpose of this video, we recorded this vocal beforehand and we're sending it in. But you could just as easily plug a mic right into the preamp and do this in real time. And now I'm just messing with the filter to try and get some interesting textures. So in this example, we're using the voice directly to just modulate the pitch of this oscillator. If we were going to use the envelope follower, so now the signal from the preamp is already going into the envelope follower. I'm going to plug that into the control for the volume. So now we can hear the pitch is not changing. The pitch is staying the same, but the volume is going up and down based on the level of the voice coming in. And you could also use that on the filter. So now I'm plugging Domo's voice into the frequency cutoff of the filter. Get sort of strange vocalization sounds on a filter. To do a more musical example, it'd be interesting to use something more percussive to trigger this envelope follower. Okay, so the drums are triggering the envelope follower, and I'm plugging that into the filter cutoff control. A little more percussive. And an interesting thing here is that the keyboard down here is still active. So I can change notes and the drums will sort of play a rhythm for me. It's very wobbly. Okay, so right now, Domo sound is coming out of the bass and going through the preamp and coming out, going into the mixer. But we're also using it to control the filter. So it's sort of like a gross wah effect. And I can also play along too. Maybe. Well, so as you can see, the ARP 2600 is exceedingly good at making strange sounds. Has 3 oscillators that can frequency modulate each other. It's got a preamp, an envelope follower, and it also has a sample and hold circuit and some envelopes. So, you know, you can even make music with it too. Hi, ARP 2600. Hi, this is a VCA control voltage. Hi, amplifier. Hi, 2600. Orange, 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 ARP, orange, orange.
Viral ad campaign.
Orange, 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 ARP, orange, orange.
Every sci-fi horror story.
Okay, so like I said I would do at the beginning of the video, I've set up a session where the yellow track at the top has some of the sound sources we used in this video, and it's feeding into a couple synths that can do the same type of thing. So I'm going to provide a link to this session in the details. The first synth I have set up here, and Domo's voice is already routed in. So these synths are all set up that the yellow track goes into their sidechain. So this one is free, but it's not a model of the ARP 2600. It can do a lot of the same things. It can modulate the pitch of an oscillator with incoming audio, and I don't know any other free synths that can do that.
So I'm just going to read.
So it's not quite as fast as with the other synth, but you can get a similar sound. See, So these are pretty simple sounds that I have set up here, but I really encourage anyone who's interested to download this session and just try messing around and see if you come up with any cool sounds. The yellow track on top of the session contains the samples from the video, but you can delete those samples and add in your own if you want to experiment. Just drag and drop them in. Also, please share if you come up with anything cool because we just want to see. If you'd like us to use our real ARP 2600 in one of your songs, please get in touch about remote production and remote mixing. Our email is info@nofunclub.com.
No fun.